The impact of woke culture on Hollywood careers. The fall of stars in the name of representation. In recent years, Hollywood has been divided between the values of woke culture, the relentless pursuit of inclusion, diversity, and representation, and the pressure from audiences and studios that still maintain more traditional standards. Some celebrities, by becoming deeply involved with these values, have faced negative consequences for their careers. What seemed to be a quest for a more just and equal future, in many cases, turned into a trap that ultimately undermined their trajectories. Below, we'll explore how woke culture impacted the careers of major names in the industry, and how, in many cases, this movement brought more polarization than transformation. Rachel Zegler, The Rise and Fall of a Star. Rachel Zegler was one of Hollywood's most promising stars. At just 20 years old, she was handpicked by Steven Spielberg to star in West Side Story, earning praise and awards. However, her rise collided with woke culture. During the promotion of Snow White, Zegler openly criticized the 1937 classic, calling the prince a stalker and saying that the new Snow White wouldn't need a prince but would become a leader instead. Zegler's comments turned her into a target for massive backlash from conservative media and the public. This culminated in box office failures with films like Shazam 2 and Snow White. Her outspoken political stance and her blunt, unfiltered communication, suited for TikTok, didn't fit the brand the studios wanted to project for a $300 million blockbuster. Actress. Today, Zegler has no confirmed roles beyond Snow White, and her meteoric rise turned into a cautionary tale about how the rebranding of a studio can be pinned on one actress. Brie Larson, the superhero who became the villain to fans. Brie Larson had a meteoric rise, from indie darling to Oscar winner, and then as the face of Marvel's most ambitious identity pivot. Her role as Carol Danvers in Captain Marvel was a milestone, making over $1 billion worldwide. However, things began to unravel after Larson's controversial statements during the film's promotion, when she said she didn't need a 40-year-old white guy to tell her what didn't work. About A Wrinkle in Time, she alienated a large portion of the audience. Her embrace of woke culture became a burden. While Captain Marvel was financially successful, Marvel chose to scale back her screen time in Avengers, Endgame, and reduce her promotion. In 2023, the Marvels became a historic failure, grossing only $26 million against a budget of $270 million. Larson, once the face of a billion-dollar franchise, was now blamed for the film's poor performance, even though it faced a range of other creative and promotional issues. The woke culture she embraced ended up becoming a damaging force in her career. Amber Heard rose to fame with Aquaman, but her career crashed after becoming the center of a media storm with Johnny Depp. The actress became an important figure in the Not Me Too movement, but her domestic abuse allegations against Depp followed. By a televised defamation trial changed everything. The trial turned into a public spectacle, with viral memes and hashtags like Amber Turd spreading across social media. Her career suffered, and her role in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was severely reduced, with reports saying her screen time was cut to under 10 minutes. The film grossed only $440 million, less than half of the original's earnings, and failed to meet expectations for a DC Universe tentpole. The backlash against Heard wasn't just about the film, it was also about her being a figurehead of the Me Too movement, which led to her career being virtually wiped out. She relocated to Spain and now works in low-profile European productions. Lena Dunham was hailed as the voice of a generation with her HBO series Girls, which captured the zeitgeist of a generation. The show was praised for its rawness and honesty, but Dunham's personal controversies soon overshadowed her success. Her portrayal of a privileged, self-absorbed character, combined with her off-screen remarks, led to constant backlash. Dunham's support of a writer accused of sexual assault and some of her more controversial personal statements made her a target of criticism. After the failure of Camping, her career stalled. Dunham's return to filmmaking with Sharpstick and Catherine Called Birdy had little impact. What had once been a celebrated career became overshadowed by her increasingly problematic public image, leaving her in a space where her talent was no longer enough to overcome her personal controversies. Jameela Jamil gained fame through her role in The Good Place, but her career quickly shifted from acting to activism. After the show ended, she became more known for her activism than her acting. Her involvement in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and Legendary was met with criticism, as many felt she was forcing an agenda rather than focusing on her craft. Jamil became a divisive figure, with many questioning her authenticity. Her over-the-top performance in She-Hulk was widely criticized, and the show itself faced negative reviews, failing to gain a strong fan base. Beyond TV, Jamil became a figurehead for body image activism, but her confrontational style alienated many, and her credibility took a hit from bizarre personal claims and public feuds. Her career didn't flop traditionally, but it stalled because her personal brand overshadowed her professional one. Elliot Page was once one of Hollywood's most promising stars, known for roles in Juno and Inception. However, after coming out as a transgender man in 2020, Page's career took a dramatic turn. While his transition was historic, it also led to a decrease in opportunities. After the announcement, Page's visibility in mainstream Hollywood films diminished. His film, Close to You, following his transition, had little theatrical release and failed to generate buzz. The industry, which once celebrated him as a star, now seemed indifferent to his work post-transition. While Page's ongoing project, Umbrella Academy, continues, it has seen a decline in viewership, and Page has been largely absent from major Hollywood productions. The industry's silence around Page is more deafening than any statement, showcasing how identity rather than talent has become a barrier in a supposedly inclusive era.